Visible by the map of violent crime, the highest concentration of violent crime occurred downtown, 75% of which was assault, other category. Over the past 60 days, the crime class assault other, which includes simple assaults and assaults on female, has been higher than last year. Of the 110 that occurred last month, 37% were domestic related. Of those downtown, 27% of which were domestic related. Property crime map shows that the highest concentration is located around the Asheville Mall and surrounding businesses. Over half of those incidents were shoplifting. So now going into Hall Creek, same, we're looking at April 2019. You can see it was slightly higher than last month, but over the same time period last year, but we're holding relatively consistent with an average of 11.5 per month. While crimes targeting vehicles are down over last year, residential burglaries up. Burglaries and property theft in general is concentrated around the new and old Hall Creek roads and around Beverly Road. Assaults have remained consistent from month to month, and as the violent crime map shows, have primarily concentrated around the Spruce Hills apartment area. That being said, we're dealing with very low crime counts. There have only been 2 incidents over the past 30 days. And as both maps show, criminal activity is limited to the southern portion of Hall Creek. This is a trend that holds relatively consistent when we take it in a historical perspective. So looking at the last 12 months, we're looking at May 2018 to April 2019. You see the concentrations of violent and property crime remain consistent as what we've seen over the last 30 days. That small hot spot on the property crime map centered on Allen's Jewelry and Pawn, and this activity primarily has to do with people trying to pawn stolen items in the business and reporting it to law enforcement. As the table at the top right shows, there was 117 crimes in the past 12 months. To put this in perspective, over that same time period, there was over 7,880 crimes across the city. This means that Hall Creek only amounts to 1.4% of the city's crime. It is truly one of the safest places in the city to live. As the pie chart shows, the crime category with the most incidents was assault other, followed by burglary from motor vehicle and theft. And the chart below that shows that Sunday and Monday are the days when most crimes were committed, with the colors on the chart corresponding to the crime categories shown above. And all of this data is available to the public, to you. You go to Community Crime Map, same graphs available. They'll show you criminal activity for the entire country, whichever municipalities are participating and sharing that data with LexisNexis. You click on North Carolina and then Asheville, and it'll bring up this dashboard where you can, on the right, or on the left, you can search individual addresses and criminal activity around them. You can specify date ranges, event types, you can do your density, and you can set up a crime alert so that if any activity happens around your address or location of interest, it'll notify you within the time period that you choose, either day, week, or month. And you can see the data broken down individually by selecting on the data grid, which is available on one of the tabs near the top. And finally, the graphs, the same graphs that showed there, pie chart, line charts, and then a temporal map when the activity, the crime is most likely to occur. And this can be a tool that you use in coordination with our open data platform. You can download
like to assist in that, please let me know. Just keeping in mind too that we can't violate the meeting laws for North Carolina, and so that dictates the number of people that can meet at one time. But there's going to be a lot to do with this, and what it's going to look like is going to take a while to shape out and have a lot of talks. So, but I'm excited about it. I think it'll be, in my mind, it's something Asheville needs, and maybe a way to discuss things instead of in a crisis mode. We can do it when things are a little calmer. That's kind of the whole reasoning and thought process around it. Are there any questions at this time about that? I know that's kind of generic. Like I said, literally just talked about this about a year and a half ago. So it needs to be repeated and shape. Questions from that? Okay. All right, and we are going to move on to community original concerns. After that, we'll go to our public comment section, and we can also play future agenda items. So, moving our community regional concerns. Start with Mark.
No concerns on my end, but I have been doing the Asheville State Police Academy through the APD. That's been great. I think we're halfway through it right now. And it's been a really great experience. They would take landing on there with a Bearcat machine, they have a bomb unit coming there. It's been a really good experience for us, for me in particular, to really understand how y'all all work technology. To be honest with you, it's a lot more intensive than I thought it was. And it's been a great experience. I recommend anyone to do that. I think they have another session in the fall, I believe. But Ryan and Keith are really nice guys. They're great. And dinner is provided every night too. It's fantastic. But it's a great program. So I recommend anyone to really do that. And it's free, and it's a great program. So I've enjoyed it.
Carl, well, we're in your neck of the woods.
Well, with the raging crime around here, I was concerned, but now I feel much better.
Got to work to get a handle on it, Carl. Jerry, anything?
I have not heard anything going on down there.
I live in Central. I used to live over in Long Beach. It's nice to live in. But I live in Central. I don't have any real concerns other than, again, it's tourist season. I'll just leave that there. Sandy, you have anything? It's basically just any press concerns around policing. So we'll move on to our public comment section. Before we do that, I also have just ask you if you want to be our council liaison, if there's anything that we should be aware of, especially while we're here in Montgomery.
Not to my immediate knowledge that anything, we're still working on the stipend information, and it's taking a little bit longer than I suspected, so let's see if we might fire up into that when we get to our next boards and commissions meeting. Hopefully by the time we come back here, we'll have something definitive. It is not something that is widely circulated around still with other council members, and so hopefully we'll just be able to make a decision on the boards and commissions level and leave it at that. But other than that, I don't have any other pressing issues. If there's something that you would like me to pass on or bring to my attention, please, let me know and get something started. But other than that,
When is the next board's commission?
I believe it's going to be on the 14th.
So if you're curious how boards and commissions work, I encourage you to go to that. Also, not only for our committee, but for all of the internationals in the process sometimes. Public comment. So if you'd like to speak, this is your chance. 4 minutes, and this is a one-way setting. So you will only speak your comment, and we will not address it, but we can talk about it afterwards. Anyone like to speak at this time? We don't have Michael Beach here, so I don't know what to do at this point, really. It's like our placeholder. Okay, well, move on to future agenda items. Is there anything that anyone would like to submit for our agenda item at this time? Again, we're going to have our monthly agenda meetings where myself, Shauna, Jerry, and Ray
6:30 p.m. on Monday, May the 13th, at Stevens Lee Recreation Center. You should be able to find that information online on the city's website. So that's what that is. It's, let's see if there's anything else for it. I finished reading. The City of Asheville will hold an informal meeting to discuss how the public input informed the profile used to search for Asheville's next police chief. The informational session will take place at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, May 13th at the Stevens Lee Recreation Center. Working in partnership with Police Executive Research Forum Consultants, city staff went into the community to gather input about the qualities and characteristics Asheville's residents desired in the next police chief. Profile can be found, there's a link on the city website to input, collect the input collected by PERF, and city staff is available online. That's pretty much it.
Just on that note, Wade, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Just saying, along that, I was also mention that, mid-May is when they're looking to start the bedding or tearing down. And I think the goal is to still have an announcement at the end of May or sometime in June as to who the new chief will be. So, hopefully, depending on where he or she's coming from with the notice that they have to give to their agency, or if they're coming from another agency, I would say June to July will probably be a logical start date. And something we also normally would mention, but there's some emails going around, and those that know or may have known retired Lieutenant Walt Robertson passed away last week. There is a public service for him Friday night, a visitation from 4 to 7 at a Biltmore Baptist, and then a service from 7 to 8 at Biltmore Baptist. Those that want to attend, and then there will be a private burial separate. For those that are interested or knew Walt, I think it's going to be a great tribute to him. And he was a 30-plus year career officer, one of my mentors at the police department, and my first lieutenant when I got promoted, so very impactful for me, but just very active in the community, so I think it's going to be a great tribute to him as well. So just for those that are interested, please come and honor Walt.